them brownstones and some brick, most of them in good repair. There didn't seem to be anyone at any of the lighted windows. That was good. He did not want to be seen. A few trees struggled for life at the edges of the sidewalks, the scrawny plane trees and maples and birches that were all that New York City could boast beyond the boundaries of its public parks. All of them stunted trees, skeletal, their branches like charred bones reaching for the midnight sky. A gentle but chilly January wind pushed scraps of paper along the gutters, and when the wind gusted, the branches of the trees rattled like children's sticks on a rail fence. The other parked cars looked like animals huddling against the cold air. They were empty. Both sidewalks were deserted for the length of the block. He got out of the car, quickly crossed the street, and went up the front steps of the apartment house. The foyer was clean and brightly lighted. The complex mosaic floor, a garland of faded roses on a beige background, was highly polished, and there were no pieces of tile missing from it. The inner foyer door was locked and could only be opened by key or with a lock release button in one of the apartments. There were 3 apartments on the top floor, 3 on the second floor, and 2 on the ground level. Apartment 1A belonged to Mr. and Mrs. Harold Nagley, the owners of the building, who were on their annual pilgrimage to Miami Beach. The small apartment at the rear of the first floor was occupied by Edna Mowry, and he supposed that right now Edna would be having a midnight snack or a well-deserved martini to help her relax after a long night's work. He had come to see Edna. He knew she would be home. He had followed her for 6 nights now, and he knew that she lived by strict routine, much too strict for such a young and attractive woman. She always arrived home from work at 12, seldom more than 5 minutes later. Pretty little Edna, he thought. You've got such long and lovely legs. He smiled. He pressed the call button for Mr. and Mrs. Yardley on the 3rd floor. A man's voice echoed tinnily from the speaker at the top of the mailbox. "Who is it?" "Is this the Hutchinson apartment?" Bollinger asked, knowing full well that it was not. "You pressed the wrong button, mister. The Hutchinsons are on the 2nd floor. Their mailbox is next to ours." "Sorry," Bollinger said as Yardley broke the connection. He rang the Hutchinson apartment. The Hutchinsons, apparently expecting visitors and less cautious than the Yardleys, buzzed him through the inner door without asking who he was. The downstairs hall was pleasantly warm. The brown tile floor and tan walls were spotless. Halfway along the corridor, a marble bench stood on the left, and a large beveled mirror hung above it. Both apartment doors, dark wood with brassy fixtures, were on the right. He stopped in front of the second door and flexed his gloved fingers. He pulled his wallet from an inside coat pocket, took a knife from an overcoat pocket. When he touched the button on the burnished handle, the spring-hinged blade popped into sight. It was 7 inches long, thin, and nearly as sharp as a razor. The gleaming blade transfixed Bollinger and caused bright images to flicker behind his eyes. He was an admirer of William Blake's poetry. Indeed, he fancied himself an intimate spiritual student of Blake's. It was not surprising, then, that a passage from Blake's work should come to him at that moment, flowing through his mind like blood running down the troughs in an autopsy table. Then the inhabitants of those cities felt their nerves change into marrow, and the hardening bones began in swift diseases and torments, in shootings and throbbings and grindings through all the coasts, till, weakened, the senses inward rushed, shrinking beneath the dark net of infection. "I'll change their bones to marrow sure as hell," Bollinger thought. "I'll have the inhabitants of this city hiding behind their doors at night. Except that I'm not the infection. I'm the cure. I'm the cure for all that's wrong with this world." He rang the bell. After a moment he heard her on the other side of the door, and he rang the bell again.